Hey guys, welcome. It's me, Desirnez, professional investor, and I want to welcome you guys to the Note Investing for Newbie show, coming to you live right now on Facebook Live. So, welcome you guys today to the show, and today I'm actually going to be doing a little bit of training here and teaching. Now, the teaching that I'll be doing today is it's a calculator class, financial calculator. It's how to turn paper into gold, how to turn notes into gold, paper into cash, using the financial calculator. So if you're not familiar with how to use a financial calculator, you're going to really find this very, very enlightening and informative. I just want to tell you guys right up front, the calculator that I use is called a 10BII financial calculator. I will hold that up to the camera. This is the calculator that I use. You can buy this calculator at like the Apple Store or the Play Store for Google. And on that financial calculator, you are able to do some pretty amazing things if you understand how to use them. You can even do some basic things too, like calculate a car payment if you wanted to, or anything like that. So we're going to go over that today. I'm Desi Arnaz. I am a professional investor, and as such, I do things like calculate return on investments, internal rate of return, what kind of yield are we getting, calculate monthly payments. I calculate amortizations and balloon payments, things like that. And so for those of you that are new to the note business, these are all skills that you'll need to have at some point. And so I thought, why not put together a little video, a little program on exactly how to use the financial calculator at a basic level. So welcome you guys. I can't see who's here with me today, but if you can type something into the chat, maybe I'll get a chance to see that. I'd like to just see who's on with us today. You guys that are out there. All right. Note Investing for Newbies. That's our class. That's my show. I want to ask you if you don't mind sharing and liking. Share and like on Facebook. I would totally appreciate it. Give me some Facebook juice, some Facebook love. I would totally appreciate that. Get some other folks invited and on board with us. Today, I also want to mention that our show today is brought to you by the Millionaire Maker Coaching Investing. Hey there, Bethany. Bethany's with us today. I just want to say hi to Beth. Glad to see you here. Very good, Bethany. Anyway, our Millionaire Maker Coaching. And what I do with our Millionaire Maker Coaching is I teach you how to make money with mortgage notes. And more importantly, I teach you how to make money using other people's money. Because no matter how much money you have, unless you're super rich, you're going to run out of money to buy more mortgage notes. And you want to buy as many of them as you possibly can, because that's cash flow coming in for you for the rest of your life if you follow the program that I teach you guys. So if you'd like to do work once and get paid forever and ever and ever, then you're going to love investing in notes. You know, some industries have that. For example, people like Elvis Presley, he's been dead for 30 years and he's still getting paid. His estate is still getting paid for the work that he did during his lifetime. You can do the same thing with mortgage notes, but you need to know how. And that's the kind of thing that I teach you as a coaching student. If you want to learn how to be, if you're interested in becoming one of my coaching students, then go to my website. My website is investbrilliantly.com. At investbrilliantly.com, you'll see this homepage. You click right there where it says, tell me about your coaching program. And once you do that, you can sign up for my coaching program and see if it's something that you like. It's only $97 a month. It is, there's no contract. And I will absolutely show you how to build a portfolio that sets you free. As a matter of fact, if you follow my program the way that I teach it, in 4 years, only 4 years, guys, you will be a millionaire just following my program. And you'll have a portfolio that spins off $60,000 to $70,000 a year in passive income just following the program. And by the way, you don't have to stop after 4 years. You can keep going. I'm simply saying that I'll get you there in 4 years if that's where you want to be. Okay. And then from there, you take it wherever in the world you want to go. So again, this is the Note Investing for Newbies show. And today we're going to be talking about calculators, financial calculators. And I'm going to show you guys how to use the financial calculator to create a nice income for yourself. Before I get started, one more time, please like and share on Facebook. I would really appreciate it. Bethany shared. Thank you so much, Bethany. I can't see who else is here for whatever reason. I'm not actually seeing anybody's names, but I see that there are several of you guys here. So thank you so much for participating today, watching the show. So let's talk about the financial calculator. I showed it to you. I used the 10BII financial calculator to do my math and my calculations. So let me just run through that with you so that you'll see exactly how that works. And in our game plan today, we're going to show you the time value of money. I'm going to help you understand the pricing model with mortgage notes and how to price them out so that you can make a nice profit, either monthly profit or just ongoing, just lump sum profits. If you just want to get paid big commissions, something like that, you can do both. So the financial calculator, here's the basics of it. The financial calculator, the 5 key buttons are right across the top, and they are the N key, the IYR key, the PV, the PMT, and the FV key. And as you can see on the screen, the names for each of these keys is there. N would be number of payments that are applicable for the type of loan you're doing. So, for example, if you're doing a 10-year mortgage, then 10 years will have one payment per month for 10 years. That would be 120 payments, right? 12 payments a year for 10 years, 120 payments. 30 years, 360 payments, and so forth. The interest rate per year, the IY, that is the annual yield or interest rate. And what that is the interest rate that you are going to be using in your equation. Sometimes it's the interest rate that the particular mortgage note has. Sometimes it's the yield that you want to earn. And I'll show you 2 examples, or an example of each today in this session. The PV stands for the present value of the money. So it could be your loan amount, or it could be the price that you pay for the asset, but it's today's dollars. That's what PV stands for. PMT is the payment amount. And by the way, the payment amount that we're talking about here is not the interest-only payment, nor is it the principal, interest, taxes, and insurance payment. It's just the principal and interest payment, P&I. And then the FV is the future value of the money. So we won't talk about that today. We just, for the sake of time, we won't get into that. Most of the time, you will not use the FV key, but there are circumstances in which you will. And you'll know when it's time to use it, when that time comes. There's a couple of other keys that I'm going to talk about before I actually get into my examples. One of those keys is the plus minus key, which is used to change the sign of your number, like from a positive to a negative. The C key is used to clear your numbers and clear your screen on this particular calculator. The orange key is used to activate anything that's in orange on your keyboard. For example, under the C key, there's a C space all, A-L-L, and it's orange. So if you wanted to use that, that stands for clear all. It clears everything out of the calculator. If you wanted to use that, you'd press the orange key first, then press the C all. That's how you use that. So now that you know the basic functions of the calculator, let me just show you an example of an actual scenario here that we can run through using the calculator, okay? And again, I want to ask you guys, please share and like and share. This is pretty interesting stuff when you use this calculator, and it's amazing what you can do if you understand how money works and how to use a financial calculator. I'll show you guys a few little examples of that. So in my little scenario here, let's assume that we've got a property that is valued at $250,000 and someone wants to buy it, they're going to put down 10%. That happens all the time, right? That means that they're going to borrow 90%. So if they're borrowing 90%, that means that their loan to value is 90%. In other words, the loan amount is 90% of the value. The property value is 250 in this case, so the loan amount will be 225,000. Patrick's on board. He shared it. Thank you so much, Patrick. I appreciate that. All right. So now, let's just say in the same example, the interest rate that the homeowner is going to pay is 6.125, and they are going to get a 30-year mortgage. Now, they want to know how much their monthly payment is, so all they need to do is plug these variables into the calculator, and they'll come up with their monthly payment. Let me show you how that would look. Okay. So here are the variables. In the end, they will put 360 because there are 30 years. Remember, it's a 30-year mortgage, 12 payments per year. So it's just 12 times 30 is 360. In the IYR, that's the interest rate per year, we put in 6.125 because that's the interest rate that the bank is giving to this person. Now, in the PV, we put 225,000 because that's the loan amount. However, we put a minus sign in front of it because that is money that is going out. And then we can solve for the payment. We want to make sure FV is blank or has a 0 in it as well. So if you do that, and here's how you program these buttons. Literally, you would punch, for the N, I would punch 3, 6, 0, and then just touch the N key. For the interest rate, I would just punch 6.125 and then just touch the IYR key. That's all you got to do to program it. So it's simple to program. Well, here's what their payment would be. Their payment would be $1,367.12. Now, that payment includes principal and interest. So that tells you they can buy a $250,000 house, put down 10%. If the interest rate is 6.125, their payment would be $1,367.12. Okay? So they say to you, well, suppose we put down more money. Suppose instead of taking a $225,000 loan balance, we take a $200,000 loan balance. We put down $50,000 in cash in order to reduce our payments. How much would that reduce the payments? Well, all we've got to do, since we already have 360 under the N, we've already got 6.125 under the I. All we've got to do is change the 225,000 to 200,000 and calculate it, and we can see that that payment is $1,215 versus the $1,367 that they would have had to pay. So putting down the extra $25,000 saves them about $150 a month. Is it worth it? Well, that's an individual call, right? For some people, they say, yeah, save $150 a month. I'll put down 25,000 more. Others will say, no, I won't do that. You know, so it really does depend. Personally, I say, no, don't do that. Take that $25,000 and buy a mortgage note that pays you $200 or $300 a month instead. Okay, so that way you can turn that $25,000 into something much bigger. But that's just me. All right, so moving on. Suppose they say, okay, we'll put down $50,000, but we also want to get a better interest rate. So if the lender reduces their interest rate from 6.125 down to 5%, and we want to know how that will impact the monthly payment. All we've got to do is punch 5% in our keyboard on our calculator and then touch the IYR key. If we do that and we solve for payments again, we can see their payment goes down to $1,073.64. So now they were paying $1,367. Now they're only paying $1,073. They got a better interest rate and they're putting down $50,000 rather than $25,000. So they are really hammering away at those monthly payments. But you can also see that changing the interest rate dramatically changes the monthly payment. right? It took almost $200 off the monthly payment just going from 6.1 down to 5.0. So a little bit more than 1% interest rate. Interest rate has a much more profound impact on the monthly payments than down payments, than extra cash do. So I often will advise people, don't put down extra cash. Maybe use that extra cash to buy down your interest rate so you can get a better interest rate, because that'll give you more bang for the buck as far as the monthly payment goes. Okay? Something to think about. But now they're saying, hey, you know what? We'd like to own this house in 15 years instead of 30. So in the same scenario, if we wanted to change it from a 30-year scenario to a 15-year scenario, all we need to do is to punch in 180 payments, because that's 108. That's how many payments there are in 15 years if you're paying once a month. There are 180 months. So we just punch 180 into the calculator and touch the N key, and we come up with this. The payment goes up to $1,581. However, now they're going to own their house in half the time, and that might be worth it for these people. If they can afford $1,581, they'll own their house free and clear with no mortgage after only 15 years rather than 30 years. They save themselves a ton of interest doing that. But you see how just moving this stuff around makes such a big difference? So now let's just say that mortgage is in place. It's a 15-year mortgage, and the people are paying 5%. There's a $200,000 balance, and the monthly payment is $1,581, and we want to buy the mortgage. Okay? Because remember, we're note buyers. That's what we do. We get these types of scenarios all the time. We buy the mortgages, and when we buy the mortgage, we have to buy them at a better yield that oftentimes we have to buy them at a better yield than what the lender has written. Now, I'm going to share with you guys in just about a minute here how to do the math on that yield. But what I want you to do before I do that is I want you to do me a favor and share and like my page. I do appreciate that. Okay. Again, I want to welcome you guys to the show. This is the Invest Brilliantly broadcast, and our website is investbrilliantly.com. As I mentioned before, our show is brought to you by the Millionaire Maker Note Investor Coaching Program. It's only $97 a month. I'll be happy to teach you how to make money with notes. I'll even show you how to become a millionaire in 4 short years with mortgage notes. Just follow my plan. Okay? I'm on the plan. I've got others on the plan. You can certainly follow the plan too, unless you're dense. If you're dense, maybe you can't follow the plan, but I don't believe you're dense. That's why you're on this call, because you're not dense. You're intelligent. If you like what I teach, follow the plan. It'll work. It's no different than if you were going to college and they said, look, if you want to become an engineer, these are the classes you need to take. You take these classes, you will be an engineer. I'm telling you guys, you follow my plan, you will be a millionaire. Okay? I will show you that. And I'll show you exactly how it's done. All right. So that being said, let's get back to our discussion. Right. So here's our scenario. The homeowner has agreed to take a 15-year mortgage at 5%, $200,000, and to pay $1,581 a month. And the lender wants to sell the note. The bank says, we want to sell the note. Now, you and I want to buy this note, but we don't want to invest our money at 5%, do we? And not that there's anything wrong with a 5% return, but why invest it at 5% if you can earn a bigger return? If you can earn 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 or 12, why would you put it in at 5? Okay, so how do we turn this 5% interest rate into a 10% yield for us? That's the key question. And that's one of the magical things that note investing allows you to do. If I pay $200,000 for this note, then I will be earning 5% on my $200,000. However, suppose I pay less than $200,000 for this note and I'm still collecting $1,581. Now I'm actually earning a higher yield, aren't I? Think about that. So if I want to earn 10%, I've got to pay less than $200,000 for this note, But how much less? Simply punch 10% into my calculator, touch the IY key, and it'll tell me exactly what I need to pay in order to earn 10% on my money. So in this scenario, if I want to earn 10%, I'd have to offer the bank $147,178 for the note. If the bank accepted my offer, then in fact, my $147,000 will be collecting $1,581 a month for the next 15 years, and that works out to be a 10% return. That's called discounting. Discounting is a fantastic tool that we have in the note space. And think about this. How much do these people owe me? That's right. They owe me $200,000. Okay? I paid $147,000, but they owe me $200,000. Nicholas says, hey, dude, this is awesome. Looking forward to talking with you tomorrow, Desi. Nicholas is one of my students. Dude, I'm looking forward to talking with you too, man. Going to make you rich, brother. If you're not already, if you're already rich, we'll make you richer with some notes, okay? But you guys see that? If I invest $147,000 and I'm collecting $1,581 a month for 15 years, then I'm actually earning 10% on my money. That's pretty large. And that's what I want you guys to understand. That's how you do this. People ask me sometimes, so how much do notes pay? What kind of a yield? As a matter of fact, someone asked me that Friday. How much of a yield do notes pay? And pretty much you decide what yield you want and you make your offers based on that. Okay? And if the bank accepts it, great. If they don't, you can always change it. But that's what you decide. I can tell you this, if your offers are too ridiculous, they won't accept them. Neither will we, when you're buying our notes. But if in fact you do make a reasonable offer, sure, we'll accept them, and so will the banks. And so what I want you guys to do is now I'm going to show you how you can make some lump sum money with discounted notes. Okay, so let me share this with you now. All right. Let's just say that you're buying this note, and this is a different note now. A $200,000 unpaid balance, UPB, 20-year term, that's 240 months, and say the interest rate is 7%, then the payments are $1,550. Okay? And so if you want to buy this note at 10.2%, you'd buy this particular note for $158,497. That's what you'd pay. And then you would earn 10.2% on your money. So that's our scenario. So let's just take a look at that, and we're going to look at it from different angles. So if you're able to negotiate that with the bank to buy the note for $158,497 at 10.2%, suppose you have a buddy that says, hey, I've got $160,000 in my retirement account, and I'm only earning, it's in the bank, or it's in the stock market, and I'm nervous and I lose money on there. I want to put it into a note. And you can help your buddy put his retirement account into a note at 10%. If he's happy with 10% and you tied this thing up at 10.2, he would pay you $160,680 for that note. Remember, you tied it up for $158,497. So that, therefore, you could actually earn a commission on that note of $2,183, just helping your buddy put his money to work at 10%. Now, is that a good deal for him? Yes, that's a good deal for him. 10%, great return. Right now, banks are paying 1% or less. So literally, he will make with this note in 1 year what it would take him 10 years to make at the bank. So yeah, it's a good deal for him. Good deal for you? Sure. You negotiated the deal, you structured the deal, you did a little bit of paperwork, and you made $2,100. The whole process would probably take you about 4 or 5 days. Okay? You do that every week, you got $100,000 a year coming in just doing that. And that's doing nothing else. Okay? But there's so much more that you can do. For example, suppose your buddy was happy with 9% interest instead of 10% interest. You could sell him that $200,000 note for $172,341. right? And he's getting 9% interest. And believe it or not, he's probably going to be pretty darn happy with 9%. And you could earn a $13,000 commission, almost $14,000. When I first got into the note business, I did a couple of them like this. One was 11,000 and one was 15,000. And then I realized, that's nice, but then you spend that money. What you really need is notes to pay your cash flow. So I started taking those commissions like that, saving them up and buying notes for myself so that I could collect that money for 20 years. And that's how I got my financial freedom. But this is certainly something that you can do. Right now, if you're broke, if you need some cash, right? This is a way to get some cash, right? It's just no different than wholesaling a house or flipping a piece of property. You're just flipping a note. So you can do this, guys, and you should. Suppose you're happy with % return on his money. He's buying a $200,000 note. At 8%, he'd pay $185. He's still got a $15,000 discount on that note. You'd earn a almost $27,000 commission. You guys seeing this? There's a sales trainer out. Her name is Donna Bauer. Anybody on here know Donna Bauer? If you know Donna Bauer, hit me up in the chat. Say, yes, I know of Donna Bauer, right? Well, while you do that, I'm going to tell you what Donna Bauer, the first time I saw Donna Bauer, I was at Noteworthy, and Donna was one of the speakers there. She was telling us about her, I think he was 21 years old, or 21, 22-year-old nephew who had structured a deal kind of like I just showed you guys, but it was a $2 million deal. And he had earned himself, I want to say like $200,000 or $300,000 commission on his first deal. Donna said she had never earned commissions that big. And her nephew did it on his first deal. Patrick says he knows Donna Bauer. Yeah, Donna Bauer. Matter of fact, I have her training book. Hold on a second. When I was a newbie agent, when I was a newbie note investor, I bought her course. It was like $800 or $1,000 or something like that, right? She's one of the people I learned from. I learned a long time ago, you got to spend money to make money, right? You got to spend money. You can't be cheap. So I learned a long time ago. So I learned from Donna. I learned from Scott. I learned from Eddie Speed. I learned from Jimmy Napier. I bought all these people's stuff so that I could learn this stuff. But now I've condensed it all down into one course. You can learn it right here. Plus, I give you hands-on. Those guys, they just teach it to you. They take your money and they move on. With me, I help you to actually learn how to do this stuff by helping you do it. So let's get back to our story here. Guys, you should be sharing this too. I just want to remind you, okay? Share this because it's going to be saved on Facebook as a live. But look at that. You can earn $2,000. You can earn $26,000. Same deal. It's the same deal. Okay? There's so much profit in these deals. So how do you get big discounts on notes? Well, you have to negotiate those discounts. That's what you have to do. Nicholas says something, professional negotiating from professional investors. There you go. You're right, Nicholas. It's about negotiations, baby. You can buy these notes. You can buy them at big discounts. And then you can sell them at smaller discounts than what you got them at. And you earn the spread. Okay? And if you save those spreads, then you go and you start to save so you can buy your own assets. Because just like with real estate, I used to tell, when I was training real estate agents, I would tell agents, it's nice to be a real estate agent and sell houses and get a commission. It's far better to be buying those houses instead of just selling those houses and watching other people make money. Okay, so what you guys have to do is you have to learn how to negotiate bigger discounts. I teach you how to do that, teach you how to structure them and how to calculate your discounts so that you can make money on the deals that you do put together. You can buy your notes from ACI Legacy Group. That's what we do. We sell deeply discounted mortgage notes. We leave enough room in there that you can right up front, when you buy a note from us, you can immediately turn right around and sell it if you choose to. And you can make that profit. That's up to you. That's up to you. there's other things that you can do with it too, if you understand how it works, guys. So understanding the financial calculator is the name of the game. I hope you guys enjoyed this information. I hope you found it valuable, because it is valuable. Whether you saw the value in it or not doesn't change its value, right? We don't always recognize things for what they are. As a matter of fact, sometimes it's not until far into the future that we realize something that happened was really important. You know, it's like the day that you met your significant other. You didn't know on that day that this is the person that you're going to spend the rest of your life with. You had no idea. Yet here it is, right? Now you know. This is one of those things. Note investing is one of those things. You don't even realize just how good this is yet. Not yet, but you will. You will. And you're either going to say, I'm glad I did, or I wish I had. That's going to be the story of your life. We put it on your tombstone. I'm glad I did, or I wish I had. You can have such a good life if you'll go ahead and just start building a note business. You'll have freedom. You'll have income. You'll have a legacy to leave to your kids and your grandkids. You'll have something to teach them. It's called financial intelligence, how to use a financial calculator, how to calculate yields, how to boost yields. I mean, you can teach your family this stuff. This is the kind of stuff they want to learn. They don't want to learn how to swing a hammer. Nothing wrong with swinging hammers, but doggone it, if you can use your brain, why not use your brain? I've done both. And believe me, I prefer making money with my head than with my back. Much prefer it. All right, guys, look, Patrick says, great information. Thank you, Patrick. Patrick says you're a great mentor. That's because I have really great mentees like you, Patrick. You're a superstar, rock star. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching the show today. Again, this is the Note Investing for Newbies show. This is on every single Monday. Head over to my website, investbrilliantly.com. And on the website, just go ahead, pound on that button right there. It says, tell me about your coaching program. Sign up for my coaching program. Let me help you develop your game plan moving forward. Put you on our 90-day fast track, and let's watch you start making some money in the note business as you build your portfolio. I'm just going to say this. I'm going to say, God bless you guys. I love you guys. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys next Monday on the Note Investing for Newbies show. Have a good one.